Good morning. This is Kasey again. This is part 2 of the shredded pants story. I'm sorry I have to break this into to 2 pieces. Some of you may not want to watch this half after watching the first half, but I know that in YouTube and the places that I load these up, that if it gets over 10 minutes, they just don't want to hear about it. In the previous message, I quoted Titus about being restored by being washed clean inside and out. And it's the same with the shredded pants, that our pants get torn up. Our lives are like those pants. They can get shredded by careless acts on our own part, by careless things that other people do. And I also wrote or mentioned that God will repair us, but gives us really specific instructions on how to do that. And remind me again about when I woke up and I Googled how to get from my hotel to the church. The directions were very specific. They told me to go this way and that way, turn left here, turn right there. And it was pretty specific stuff. And I looked at it, and then of course I looked at the map as an overall general picture of it. And I took off and headed for the church on this Sunday morning, where I had Levi's on. I had my message had been changed. Everything was different. And I remember following those instructions. And then I had the instructions on how to get to the church. They were very specific instructions, but I wouldn't follow them. I thought, this is a little bit shorter this way, or if I do this here and that. 3 times I varied away from the instructions that were given to me by the God Google. The Google God? I don't know. And all 3 times I ended up getting lost. And I had to go back to my original place and follow the instructions again and again so that I would get it right. And I think God does that for us too. I think that we're given really specific instructions on how to repair shredded pants on our lives, how to fix things for ourselves, how to restore ourselves to wholeness. Now, many of you who are watching this may not need this. You may be a whole person. Many of you may have come to a place of restoration, that you've already gotten the instructions, that you've already figured it all out. But I also hope that some of you are like me. You're broken. You've been broken. You're looking for new ways. You're looking for a new way of doing things, and you're looking for the instructions. Beyond the instructions, you're looking for the good news, the thing that'll promises you that it'll be better. Well, that instruction book is pretty simple. For Christians, it's the Bible. The Bible is an amazing book that has instructions on almost every page for living. I'm going to open this up to, I guess, the letter of Ephesians. I'm going to look for a rule for living. It says here, "For this reason I bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and earth takes its name. And I pray to, according to the riches of His glory, He may grant that you may be strengthened in your inner being with power through His Spirit, that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you are being rooted and grounded in love. I pray that you may have the power to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and the length and the height and the depth, and that you will know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled with all the fullness of God." So what's the rule for living there? I think there are 2 things. One is love. Live in love. Let God into your heart and live a life of love. That by living a life of love, and it says elsewhere in the Scripture, it says that we fulfill all the law of God. To love God and to love one another. Pretty simple and straightforward instructions. Not so easy is it sometimes to follow through, especially when we're asked to love the unlovable. To care for that person that just irritates the heck out of us. I have this community that I belong to online, I'm really grateful that I'm there. It sort of turned me into in my own mind, a cyber pastor of sorts, but I've got some really great friendships there, and I've been able to talk with a few people and work with them through some issues that they've walked through, and it's been a real blessing for me and a real grace for me, and I'm putting on that cloak whether I choose to or not. I know that God's not going to let go of me. I'm looking for a place to serve, a way to serve, and maybe for right now that place is there. But there are a couple of people that mail me, that comment to me that I really don't want to spend time with. And if you think it's you, it probably isn't, because I would never share this if I thought it was. But the truth of the matter is that they're not lovable to me. Because, well, first of all, they don't agree with everything that I say. That they are strong in their own opinions. They have good voice. They're able to say what is meaningful and powerful and important to them. And they have an expectation of my fixing or my, I don't know. But for some reason, these two people, they're unlovable to me. And yet, the directions say love them. I have a neighbor who consistently overfills their trash can. And all of the overfill from their trash comes flying over into my yard. Because, of course, I live in windy Kansas. And so, that's one of the things that I have to look at, is how do I love this neighbor who keeps trashing up my yard? I haven't figured that one out yet, but I have figured out that what I can do for that neighbor is that when that stuff comes flying over into my yard, I can pick it up and put it in my own trash can. Mine doesn't overflow. We don't have a lot of stuff. I just know that we're called to follow the directions, to follow our hearts, to be people of love. I just know that when our lives are shredded, when our pants are destroyed, when we are feeling dirty, when we are feeling broken, when we are feeling less than we should, that we can turn to love, and love will restore us. So, when you are feeling the least lovable, and someone reaches out to you, take their hand. When you are feeling the most prideful, reach out your hand to another and love them where they are. Let's figure out a way. Let's figure out a way to make this community work. To make this incredible family make a difference. I think we can do it with love. I think we can follow the directions. I think we can figure this out. I think God can fix shredded pants. It's Kasey Crosby. And it's just a thought. May you have a blessed day.